El único río, ahí todos los niños se bañan, la gente lavan, hacen todas las cosas de la necesidad de la comunidad a donde pasa el río. Yo recuerdo en 2004, 2005, había un estudiante de la Universidad de Estados Unidos que viene aquí, que estaba haciendo un reportaje sobre los microbios, bacterias y cosas. Y nosotros estábamos tomando muestras de todo el agua del río, hasta Imosobí, el río del Camus. Nosotros descubrimos en la investigación que estábamos haciendo que tiene una bacteria, un microbio, que puede durar media hora en cloro puro antes de morirse.
If you walk out of school and you turn left and you go down to the river, there is just trash everywhere. Fecal matter, just all throughout the river. And it's hard sometimes to know that that's where our kids bathe and get themselves clean, and that's what's hygiene to them.
We have a very big percentage of parents that don't work, and part of that is our government don't pay attention to certain part of some towns. So they are lost. They are just forgotten.
Está quebrado el gobierno, no hay dinero. Y por eso los haitianos están pasando mucho de todo. Está pasando hambre, no es los haitianos, porque hay dominicanos pasan hambre también.
Esta es una realidad nueva que está creciendo lentamente, pero las personas que forman Montellano realmente, que están en los barrios, que están en el pueblo, que son la gente que tú ves todos los días cuando tú caminas, ese tipo de personas está sin trabajo, porque no hay fuente de trabajo ahora, está tratando de ganarse la vida como puede, tratando de, qué sé yo, enviar a sus hijos a la escuela, educarlos.
A veces es muy difícil, porque hay gente algunas veces que no hay un trabajo para hacer, se sientan ahí en el batey, no hay ningún sitio de trabajo. A veces echan un día y a veces no.
La vida, la verdad, de antes estaba un poco difícil. Lo que sea por ahora no es fácil porque no hay trabajo. Hay muchas personas que no tienen un trabajo, no tienen empleo.
Lo que ellos puedan hacer por tratar de echar para adelante, dadas las mismas circunstancias, porque muchas veces no es tanto que no tengan qué hacer, sino las oportunidades también no se presentan. Y eso hace que las personas se desesperen un poco a veces.
Porque un dominicano alguna vez tenía quincenalmente, había 200 dominicanos con sueldo. Pero ahora mismo, ni el dominicano no tiene sueldo. ¿Qué hace ellos? Se esconde un campo de caña para que saltea el otro que tiene 100 pesos. Y así por eso vienen muchos ladrones de todo juntos. Eso que está pasando en este país ahora.
It's really neat, the community that we have here. It's very warm, it's very welcoming. It breaks your heart because you look around and you see the need, you see what they're lacking, yet these people have a joy in their eyes and a generous spirit that I've never seen before. It's such a tight-knit community that they provide for each other. They will not let someone starve. They will share what they have, even if it's just a little bit, and the kids get to see that, and we love that.
The most beautiful thing we've seen since being here is the generosity of neighbors to each other. And we have experienced that firsthand from neighbors bringing over fruit just because, bringing us fresh flowers. And it's beautiful to see them doing that for each other. You know, family may not have work for the week or for the day, and therefore it doesn't have food, but they can go to the neighbor, knock on the door, say what's going on, and there's a plate of food. To come into those communities, it's really exciting because you're challenged to be free with your things, to give.
There's certainly a stigma with AIDS in the Haitian villages, and to the point where someone would avoid even taking medication or going to see a doctor because everyone in the village would then learn that they have AIDS. And so they will willingly die sooner because they're embarrassed. And there's actually a system in place where when a woman gives birth, in the Dominican public hospitals, they'll test her for AIDS and they'll let a leader in the community know who will follow up with them and encourage them to get treatment for it. Because if they tell the mother there, 9 times out of 10, she won't do anything about it. She won't get care for her child or testing to find out if they should have treatment.
We don't know how many of our kids have HIV. It's one of those things that parents don't want to get their kids tested because they don't know that it's a disease that can be helped. They don't understand that they can go to Puerto Plata, get the free medication, and have their kids live a much happier, healthier life.
Yo pensé que sí, porque hay personas que es un poquito ignorante, que no quiere admitir que lo tiene. Por eso cuando los médicos hablan de eso, esa persona dice, no, yo no tengo eso de verdad, o ellos ignoran eso. Por eso hay más posibilidades para que la gente lo tiene.
Wemle is one of our students who has HIV. He was diagnosed about a year ago, and at the time of his diagnosis, he had multiple skin problems. He was sick all the time.
We knew his mother had AIDS. We didn't know how advanced, but until she passed away maybe 6 months later. And then I didn't actually see him again for about a year. And at that point, he was pretty sick, and we were pretty sure that he had HIV. I was trying to figure out who was actually responsible for him because I would always see him naked and dirty and with bigger kids picking on him, nobody helping him out. Didn't look like he was eating much. So I was told that there was a woman who had been friends with his mom who was taking care of him as best as she could, but she didn't have money even to take care of her own kids. And so he slept at her house, and she gave him food when she could, but he wasn't being cared for. One of our staff members took him for testing, and from then it went into the treatment that he needed for HIV.
Porque muchas veces ellos no quieren admitir que tiene ese problema. Por ejemplo, la madre de Wilner, cuando nosotros supimos que tenía ese problema, nosotros fuimos a hablar con él. Había algunas personas de Macalius también que fueron a hablar con ella para decirle que no le da seno al niño. Y él no quiere admitir que tiene la enfermedad y le da seno al niño. Muchos niños que están afectando y muchas madres también se están muriendo porque ellos no están admitiendo que tiene la enfermedad para que recibir los medicamentos o tratamientos que debe recibir.
His blood count was too low. He didn't have enough red blood cells, didn't have enough just ability to take the medication and survive the medication. So we had to give him a blood transfusion. And then I take him once every 2 months now to get him the antiviral medications that he needs, which are free. They're pills that he takes twice a day.
He's one of my favorite kids. I cannot say that, but he's so cute. He's just cute. And when he loves you, he just loves you. No matter, he doesn't know anything about what's going on around him. He just knows that you're his friend. He doesn't know if he's sick or not.
Wilnay used to have a bunch of skin lesions. Now his skin has healed. He used to get colds all the time. Now he's able to run around. He has energy. He plays a lot more because he has the medication that's helping him fight the disease. He's a much happier little boy now because he's being treated. One smile from Wilnay. These kids, it makes it all worth it. I mean, there's nothing else that I would rather be doing right now than being here to take care of these kids.
3 or 4 dentists have come down over the last 3 years and have worked with the kids. Some of them have come more than once, but there's always more of a need than they're able to address while they're there.
When I first started going to the DR about 3 years ago, they had known that if they went to the dentist, it was going to hurt. They were held down. And prior to my coming, the dentists that went mainly did extractions. And so the care was pretty traumatic for the children. Over the course of those 3 years, we've been able to bring some equipment and deliver normal restorative care and preventative care. And the kids have responded to it incredibly well. They took to the whole idea that they would rather have their teeth. They would rather have them restored. And they understand that if they're going to be fixed, then it makes sense to take care of them. We were able to give the care that they needed without causing them a lot of pain. We've seen an improvement, just in a short period of time.
We found that it's really important to not only have American staff at the school, but to have Dominican and Haitian staff. In fact, we're moving to a point of being almost fully run by Dominican and Haitian staff. What happens is a kid can look up and see this American who's setting a good example for them, but there can still be a disconnect because of culture, where they could say, well, I can't become like that, or I shouldn't become like that because they're American and I'm Dominican or I'm Haitian, and so it's just too different. So when they see a Dominican teacher, a Haitian teacher that loves them, that is working hard, that's taking responsibility for their family, that's treating people with respect, then they realize, oh wait, I can be like this. This is what I should be working towards, and that makes a huge difference.
I was one of those kids. I moved to here when I was like 8 or 7 years old. And I started to see my father working here for our family. So my mom and I decided to move here too. Once we got here, he passed away like 2 years after. So since then, it's been really, really hard to explain it. It's been like a process of working by myself for my other 2 brothers and my mom. And she has never stopped working for us too. I became a teacher, and we're both working hard for our family. My future? Ooh, I'm very ambitious. In my future, I want to be ahead of school, just like Charla is ahead of Macaria. But I want to teach languages. I want people to be able to communicate. So good to understand each other. So good to talk. It's so good to love each other. What is the way to understand each other? Talking the same language. It means a lot for the future of the villages, because these kids can be the next or the future engineer, the future preacher, the future mayor of those villages. Now they are this, but in the future they can be more than that. They can be a new person.
Dominicans and Haitians both are very warm people, and so it's not hard to build relationships with them. At the same time, they can be warm and friendly, but suspicious of maybe what your motives are or how long you're going to stick around. And so the key to that was really just developing relationships, just putting in the time. The first 3 years that Makarios existed, we didn't have a school building, and so we were going into the villages and providing classes. And so our teachers knew everyone in the village, not just the kids. They knew their parents, they knew everyone else. And so they developed friendships with them, like legitimate friendships, not just, well, these are the people I'm helping, so I'll spend time with them, but they went to their weddings and their funerals and they spent time with them. They had them over to the house. It's real relationships, not sort of just faking the like, well, I'm gonna spend time with you because I wanna help you and that's, you know, what I do. And that Makarios is based on relationships. That's a huge part of what we do, how we do it, and why we're there in the first place.
After school on Wednesdays, we leave around 2:30. We go to village visits, and that is something we implemented to be able to go out into the villages, to spend time with our kids outside of the classroom, to let them know that we care about who they are, not just what they do in school, that we are here for them.
Muchos visitantes, sí. Y a veces estamos.
They just don't see teachers in a school teaching their kids. They see that we care about them, and so they make an effort to care about them too, you know? It's like a relationship not between student and teacher, it's a relationship between student, teacher, and parent, you know? That's what Macario does. It's a community.
We make an effort to tell them that their kids are doing great in school. If their kids are behaving badly, we make the effort to bring the conference to them so they know we're working hard on your kids in this area. To be able to enhance parent involvement, because the children will be so much more successful if their parents care about what they're doing and their parents are involved in their school life.
De nada, Alex. Bye.
When we first started Makarios, one of the things that Brian was doing, one of our teachers, was he was going into Pancho Mateo and mentoring a group of young boys. And some of them were in the classes that he was teaching, some weren't, but he would play sports with them. He would invite them to the house for a meal. He would just hang out with them and invest in their lives. And Caquito was one of those kids. And he was always special. Before we ever came on the scene, there was something different about him, where he had a maturity and an understanding of life that was well beyond his years and atypical for the village and the culture in which he was growing up. Brian spent a lot of time with him those first few years, but I didn't realize the extent to which, you know, those 2 years really influenced his life. He's now 18, and he is, as many have said, he's a man among boys. I mean, he gets it, and he understands what it means to be a man and to be responsible and to work hard and to take care of people.
Primeramente, he estado, o mi familia y yo, no hemos estado viviendo en una buena condición, ya que las cosas han empeorado para mi madre y para mí. Y yo quiero ser alguien y yo poder ayudar a los demás. O sea, si en un día tenía hambre y recibí pan, me gustaría también que otro necesitara pan y yo también darle pan. Y si Dios me abre la puerta y me da la oportunidad de hacer lo que han hecho muchas personas conmigo, entonces me gustaría estudiar, lograr mis sueños y ser la persona en realidad que Dios quiere que yo sea y que yo en verdad necesito ser. O sea, todas las personas de Makarios como una bendición a mi vida, en lo cual he podido aprender muchas cosas nuevas. Hoy en día, ahora, me siento muy feliz y muy contento ya que Dios me dio ese tesoro. Y entonces pienso que fuera otra persona muy diferente. Si Macario mi vida fuera algo que no sé cómo explicarlo.
Mi amiga Chala, yo conozco hace tiempo. Ella ayuda a mi familia un poco también. Para mí Chala hace buen trabajo. Son buen trabajo y tienen buen corazón.
Respecto a Chela, te diré que por primera vez la he tratado hoy, pero me gustó, porque es igual que ustedes, que tenemos ya meses tratándonos, que son amor, son amor. Y Chela me cayó bien, es amor.
Yo me siento bien porque ella dejó su país para venir a enseñar a nuestros hijos. Me siento muy bien y me siento orgullosa de ella, porque ella fue una persona linda, porque al dejar su país para venir a tiene que ser algo muy lindo, sí, y muy especial.
Sí, para nosotros que ella es la estrella de la República Dominicana, vamos a decir, por el trabajo que ella está haciendo.
In the first year that Macarios was working in the Dominican Republic, I started thinking about creative ways to be able to fund what we were doing. And coffee was one of the first things that came to mind. I knew that there